Okay, second set of updates here. I have to bounce around between platforms. Just bear with me 1 second. So, okay, I'm going to get to the Iran situation here because we've got the death clock going for Iran. Trump is going to wipe out their entire existence if they don't comply with everything. It's a little problematic. But first, I wanted to get to something that I've fallen behind on. This is a little bit of old news right now, but we're going to clavicular, this looks maxing faggot. For anyone, because I've had to kind of learn what the fuck looks maxing is. It's a combination, I guess, of being a metrosexual and also I maybe taking steroids as well. I don't really know. But you've got faggots like clavicular doing that, and I just wanted to go to this because just in general, this stuff pisses me off. So, Brett Cooper, if you don't know her, she did kind of she did the other aspect on the Daily Wire. She did pop culture and stuff like that. So she ended up leaving them. She was already kind of an actress and she was already kind of doing her own thing. It's not like she was a nobody that just came in and gained popularity. She already kind of did stuff. And then she gained more popularity on being on the Daily Wire, kind of had a falling out with the Daily Wire, so she left. And she came to start her own channel, and there's supposed to be a big hubbub and to-do about her doing it. She has 1 million subscribers, but she hasn't appeared to go anywhere or gain any more traction other than that. It was like, her and the Daily Wire were kind of feeding off each other, and maybe she thought when she left this was going to be a big deal. And at least in my personal opinion, it doesn't appear to be the case. But, first I say, get you a girl that looks at you the way Brett Cooper looks at clavicular. Keep in mind, Brett Cooper's a married woman. Here's some of this.
How are you? Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Good job.
You thought it was good?
The show's very good.
Good. Brett, what's up?
How's it going?
How are you?
Look at that fucking smile. Look at that face. That's the, oh my God, I wish your penis was in my mouth right now. And I remember at the time these women were coming on and, oh, you fucking guys, we can't even smile and say hello and smile at somebody, and you think that we want your cock and yada yada. Like, look at that fucking smile. Give me a fucking break. Anyone's brain that functions, you know the difference between a, hey, how you doing? It's cool to meet you. I'm here for other things, but I want to be nice. I don't want to be rude. Nice to meet you. No, that's oh my God, you're so hot. I wish I wasn't married. That's what the fuck that is. And these fucking bitches that end up getting to the next level and gaining, fame and shit. This is what it turns into. Their poor traditional husband at home gets left with the kid while she goes to fucking party it up and hang out with good-looking celebs. I think Clavicula is a fucking retard, and it doesn't look good at all, but to each their own. And this is what they turn into. I brought up this other girl here, Bobby Altoff, for anyone that remembers her. She did the... what the fuck was the name of her podcast? The best podcast, or something stupid. The Really Good Podcast. That was a name. So you remember, this is another bitch who did the same thing. Fucked over her husband, slept with other men, and ended up facilitating a divorce because she got fame and decided that old Mr. Reliable that was with her from the beginning was too boring and too, just lame. And you needed to move on to whoring off with other dudes in the professional sphere. She was married and she was a TikToker when she first started off. And she did videos of being pregnant, and she had a funny twist on them, and she got like 1 million followers on TikTok. And then as she got the following, she ended up joining the same PR company, management company that Drake had. I think that's how the two ended up connecting at one point, because it was very easy for them to get into the, communication. That was the infamous one where she was laying in his bed and interviewing him. Well, she leaves the husband. They get a divorce, probably because she was cheating, even though they didn't come directly out. I don't know that he came directly out and said that there was infidelity, but it was certainly seemed like it on her end with the things she was doing. And she interviewed a whole bunch of people from Mark Cuban to Drake. There's Drewski there as well. She did a whole bunch. And it's just another woman that gained fame and a notoriety, and then they decide to turn around, screw over their spouse, and they all pretend they're traditional trad wives, and they're totally loyal to their husband, and then you see them in shit like this, and you go, really? Really? You're a loyal trad wife, like you've gotten all this fame, 1 million followers, you went out and broke out on your own, and you're doing your own thing, and this is how you fucking look when you meet Clav. Get the fuck out of here. So, here's a video she did right after that thing happened with Clav, and this is her kind of explaining some of her, in my opinion, bullshit, but here it is.
I never really look like this, but anyway, hello from New York and New York Fashion Week. I am here in New York City this week. I'm going to ED Magazine's first ever live event that they are hosting, or I guess in-person event. I'm going to be on Fox a couple of times, and I am going to my very first ever New York Fashion Week fashion show, which is very crazy and very cool. I'm going to Elena Velez's show. That is what we're doing, so come along with me. You'll see some fun faces, including Alex. Let's do it.
Is that her husband? I don't know. Maybe she brought him with her? He wasn't at that fucking meet and greet.
Last night was wild. Hi guys, good to catch up. Hello from New York. Last night, you might have seen on X, I went to Elena Velez's fashion show for New York Fashion Week, and when I was planning out this entire week, because I have a bunch of events here this week, and I'm doing Fox and all that stuff, I specifically intended and planned to do today's episode, Saturday's episode, on that experience.
Okay, so her husband is Alex Tomble. So, if I'm correct when she said there's Alex, apparently she brought her husband with her. I was under the impression that, she was there alone when I first saw this, and the husband and the baby stayed home. Now, apparently, for her credit in this one particular thing, she brought the husband and baby with her. I will give her that. We'll continue.
My first ever fashion show, and why I think Elena Velez is such a unique designer that often faces so much backlash in the mainstream industry. But the show itself and the attendees and the models are getting a lot of traction online, so I thought we should start out by discussing that. Because yes, you might have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the runway, and yes, I got to meet him. Cue the screeching online from angry men. You might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to ruin your day.
So
yes, I did.
Mrs. Conservative, by the way, flashes up manosphere, very angry. So now she's a feminist anti-man, and we're all bad guys for the way that we reacted. By the way, I'm going to show you something after this, that this fucking bitch has been hanging out with Candace Owens. So, you know how Theo Vaughn just recently, if you've heard about it, went on his fucking stupid rant on Joe Rogan, like the guy's back on drugs again? Well, guess who was all hanging out together on Easter? Not only was it Theo Vaughn, but Brett Cooper and Candace Owens. All the grifter conservatives, all the fakes that have broken out on their own to have their own bullshit show and get their 1 million followers so they can keep going on the I'm a conservative grift. While I'm watching this and she pisses and moans about the manosphere being angry. So she's a conservative, should kind of be anti-feminist as far as the feminist bullshit. But then she's going on about how, she's upset with us, the manosphere, for how she handled it. When I showed you her fucking face and it looks like she's ready to suck dick right there. But no, myself and the manosphere are wrong, no. While they're all fucking hanging out together on Easter, the biggest conspiracy nut lying pieces of shit. Candace Owens is one of the biggest liars, grifters. She has been proven wrong again and again and again. I have no idea how she has a following at all. And this fucking bitch is still online posting fake bullshit, attacking Trump, attacking fucking everybody, attacking Erica Kirk. I don't even like Erica Kirk. And she's out there attacking Erica Kirk, pretending she was Charlie Kirk's bestest friend. When I think it's either one of two things. One, she hated his guts. and this is like some revenge tour she's doing, or 2, she's angry that she never got to suck his dick. And it was Erica. She seems like the jaded girlfriend that never was to me. With her whole bullshit Charlie Kirk thing. Now you've got Brett Cooper fucking drooling over clavicular and then complaining about the manosphere. It's like, fuck these bitches. Honestly. You get some money and you get some fame and the fucking whore just rips right out of you. We'll continue.
Did meet clavicular.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Now, the whole thing was just crazy to experience, but honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought clavicular in. He's obviously having this huge moment online. She basically
he's fucking having a huge movement now.
From the fitting to hair and makeup to actually walking on the show. Like, we were sitting front row watching, and like his camera guys were walking like with him and filming the crowds. Like, they were completely involved. And so all of this exposed Clavicular's fans, the tens of thousands of people watching him on Kick, the people clipping his videos on X, they exposed them to Elena and to Fashion Week in general. It just opened them up to a whole new world. And I will say, this is not the first time that a streamer has walked in a fashion show, but she really gave him free reign and gave him free access, which was very, very cool to see. Now, in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show. She is the girl, I talked about her on comment section a couple of years ago, but she was literally kicked off of TikTok. She was banned on TikTok because she has this thing called Skinny Society, and she's like a fitness and health influencer, and she was telling girls how to portion control and calorie count, and apparently that was triggering and harmful for people in the body positivity community. So yes, she was literally banned off of TikTok. She was dropped by her modeling agency. So it was like a cool full circle moment. She got to walk in her first Fashion Week show. She was like covered in Vogue by being in Elena's show. Elena also had some like controversial musicians walking. I think that she also had a detransitioner in the show. I didn't catch that individual's name, but I was at the show with Brittany Hugo Boom, who is the founder and editor-in-chief of Evie Magazine. They also just did a profile on me being at the show, but Brittany apparently knew who this was and pointed her out. But needless to say, amidst all of that interesting cast of characters, Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because I was in attendance, there is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh my God, cue the meltdown.
Cue the meltdown. Look at me. I'm thinking about his cock already in my mouth. This is what I'm talking about, that these bitches are fake. And then they try to turn it around on you and say that you overreacted. The thing wasn't a big deal. You didn't see what you saw. And you all just need to chill out and calm the fuck down. And here's the biggest problem about all of this is who these people masquerade as. I haven't even gotten to the story about Kristi Noem's husband being a crossdresser. I haven't even gotten to that yet. And first of all, how the fuck did you not know your husband was a crossdresser? There's no fucking way. You're in a marriage, in a relationship, living in the same home, and you don't realize your husband has these tendencies. So what is the point of all of this? Just you're going to say, oh, well, here's another dude shitting on a woman who smiled at a guy. No, it's deeper than that. There's more to it than that. All of these women and all of these people, I think Bobby Altoff started this way too, as these fake Christian, conservative, traditional wife women. They're married to their man. They're a ride or die. They're not gonna cheat. They're not gonna do anything bad that they shouldn't do. They're the traditional wife that stands by their man. They're a team. They're together like this, and there's nothing to worry about. And then you see these bitches go out, get some fame, get some money, fuck their husband over, throw their family away, all for the life. Look at this fucking picture. That isn't just a smile. She's fucking starstruck in that picture. Not only starstruck, but like, oh my God. I showed you a picture of her husband sitting at the kitchen table. You saw it briefly in that video. He's just a regular fucking guy. He's no Brad Pitt. He's no clavicular. He's nothing. He's a regular old dude. Then you run into a different type of man, and here's the fucking the view that you get. But now she's going to go on and go, oh, and the whole internet overreacting. The fuck that we are. The fuck that we're overreacting.
Guys, they are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, law.
Yeah, we're touching grass and we're kicking rocks. And we're realizing you fucking conservatives are fakes. You're hypocrites. You're fakes. Your platform is fake. Where you come from is fake. What you claim to believe in is fake. That's what happens when we go outside and we kick over the rocks and we touch the grass. And you take a minute to get out of the sphere and think about what's going on. There's her face when Clavicula's cock is in her mouth. And so we kick over the rocks, we touch the grass, and we realize you're all fucking fake. You all have a grift of pretending who and what you are and what you pretend to represent. You don't. Kristi Noem being a staunch conservative. Her husband's a cross-dresser. Bobby Altoff, and I don't remember 100% if she was a Christian trad wife, goes and allegedly cheats on her husband and sleeps with Drake. Brett Cooper saying, "Don't believe your lying eyes when you see my face when I met Clavicular." Like, yeah, we're all kicking rocks over, and we're all finding the worms underneath the rocks. And you're telling us that what we're seeing and what we're experiencing doesn't exist.
Log off. Go speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was first invited.
No, your fucking face shows that.
I didn't think that he was going to make it, after all, because he was literally just in jail in Arizona. But yes, he ended up walking, and obviously...
So, she didn't think he was going to make it, but it was in the back of her mind. Because in order for you to think, I don't think Clavicular is going to be there, you have to have been thinking about the situation about whether Clavicular can make it or not. The proper response would have been, I went to this fashion show. Aside from the woman that was running it and a couple of friends, I didn't give a shit who was going. If I met someone new, cool. If I didn't have anyone in particular in mind. She has a Freudian slip right there, and she says, I didn't even think Clav was going to make it. Which means you were thinking about Clav being there. But she's hoping that you're glazing over this with her bullshit, and you're not paying attention to this. That you're missing that. I'm seeing this video for the first time. I'm watching this video all the way through for the first time, and I've already caught her bullshit.
Obviously, I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making content about him...
Obviously, I was going to take the opportunity to meet him.
And after weeks of mocking him and saying that I thought he was just like a shell of a person who had no values, like, I thought the respectful, the good thing to do would obviously...
Okay, I think he's a shell of a person and he's ridiculous. Does that look like the face of somebody who thinks he's full of shit and ridiculous and a shell of a man? Does that look like the face, folks?
To go say hi in person and meet him and not be an actual asshole in real life, because I am not an asshole. But unfortunately, because every part of his life is streamed to people online, smiling and being nice means that you are a hoe who hates her husband and hates her family. So that's the discourse online. Again, I will say...
That's what Bobby Altoff did.
Fuck, because Twitter's not a real place.
Like, are you people crazy? We do not live in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes two women go out without their husbands, and sometimes women, oh my god, interact with the male species. Again, touch grass,
and sometimes end up leaving their husbands and fucking around with the guy because you're a whore.
Online. Needless to say, like, the show itself, again, it was a very cool but wild experience.
Okay, so anyway, I don't care. I don't follow her. I don't watch her. It doesn't seem like her show. After she got to 1 million all over the hub and bub, it doesn't appear to be going anywhere. Because she's just another fake, grifting conservative talking about shit no one cares about. But my overall point about this, because there are always going to be cheaters, there are always going to be women that find better situations and they walk away from the loyal husband to go be with some douchebag like Clav. So my point is, and we're getting it, and with Kino Casino going after the quartering as well, another fake grifting conservative, that's a whole nother thing I would need a whole nother show for. But the point is that people, especially myself, got away from legacy media, got away from Fox News, CNBC, CNN, all these others, because we got tired of the fake grifting bullshit where they followed only one narrative, they supported only one side, they were completely biased, and they lied to everybody that was watching. So then people broke out and they went to individual podcasters and content creators. And that's who a lot of people are following now. They're picking content creators and podcasters that they feel strongly about, and they're following their shows, and they're going through their thing. And then you get people like this, who you start to expose that are fake conservatives, fake trad wives, fake women like Bobby Altoff, and in my personal opinion, Brett Cooper. Just these fake wives that get the taste of fame, the taste of money. They get to go leave their regular old John Doe of a husband, go meet these other stars and other content creators and shit, and the twinkles in their fucking eye, and they're thinking about, I could only imagine what my life would be with Clav. Only to turn around, come on a podcast, call all of you and I crazy for seeing what we saw. Go touch grass, go kick rocks, go back to her fucking stupid show and watch her fake conservative bullshit while you pretend not to see what you saw. Just like Quartering does, just like these other fake conservative programs are doing. And that's the bottom line of it that really pisses me off. How fucking fake and hypocrites these people are. If you felt like Clav was a fake, hollow thing of a man, you wouldn't have fucking walked up to him and smiled like this. You would have had a half, like I put on like a half smile, almost like this is exhausting. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to meet you. Like, I'm not going to bullshit you. I think you're a fake person. I've talked shit about you on my show. I am now not going to run into you at an event, put a giant smile on my face and a twinkle in my eye, like meeting you is the best thing that's happened to me all month. Like, be fucking real. If you shit on him and call him a hollow of a man, fucking walk up to him and introduce yourself in that same fashion. You didn't do that because you're fucking fake. And then you got pissed that people online had an opinion about it and the manosphere got angry. Fuck you. Just these fake conservative shows. Fuck you. So, speaking of this faggot, Cavlicular, so his most recent stint, one, he already got arrested, because we're already on the Cavlicular take, so we might as well throw in a couple extra. He already got arrested for either hitting a woman or instigating and being a part of a fight between two women. So, he already had that situation. Then he had the most recent one that happened, that he was on the bayou here in Florida, where he was with this other douche, another manosphere, looks-maxing faggot, and they go out on a fan boat and end up shooting. Essentially, it was supposedly a dead alligator from what you see on the video, but since this is protected wetlands, unless you have a permit specifically for hunting or doing something, you're not supposed to be discharging firearms even at dead animals or destroying any of the biosphere here.
That gator, look at that gator. You see it? Yo. I wonder what baby alien's up to.
So it's going to spin around to go see the dead gator. I mean, like a couple of children. You never seen a dead animal before? And you're going to go defile its body. I mean, this is man-children, is what this is. And now to appear cool...
Can I read my chat?
Yeah.
My phone's up there.
You're going to take your weapons out, and you're going to unload half a fucking clip into it.
Yeah, I'll take my phone, actually.
Like, it's not improper use of weapons. You're using them like a kid that just got his hands on his dad's gun for the first time.
We should shoot it.
Is it dead?
Yeah.
So can we shoot it?
Just one? Just chilling.
We just
One
dump
shot?
Yeah, can we dump it around into it?
I mean, this fucking guy's got the rifle strapped around him and the gun band right here. I mean, he's trying to look like he just came back from Afghanistan and now he's taking a little fucking vacation. Both of these fucking posers.
Well, let's just test it. Let's test really how dead it is.
Bro just said it's.
All right, we gotta make sure.
No. They got that boat right there.
That's
boat.
our boat.
No, it's not. That's our boat?
That's our group.
Oh, shit. Can we shoot it?
Yeah, I mean, we have to test if it's dead.
Just one
What do you
time?
guys want? To get out like an open area, or you guys?
He just wants to shoot something.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
itching.
Oh, we're good. You can pretty much do it.
Here's Clav, yeah, with the legs of a woman.
Yeah, I think it's dead. Oh shit.
I can't hear shit.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's definitely dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just I fucking losers. So he's facing charges for, the discharging the both of those idiots, I guess, discharging weapons in a protected biosphere, even shooting at a dead animal is still a crime, I guess, in the state of Florida. He's facing serious charges because, Florida doesn't fuck around with stuff like this. I hope he does real time. I hope all of these like streamer douchebags all get what's coming to them. I hate them all. You don't hate them enough. They are all the biggest fucking douchebags. Half of them I get stories about either they're dead, they get killed, they die from something stupid, or they're doing dumb shit and getting arrested all over the place. Like, you're doing this for views and likes of the public, so the public can see you and tell you you're a fucking retard and you're a moron. They're only watching you to see your downfall, and then it eventually happens, and it's like, these influencers are just some of the worst fucking people on the planet. They really are. Okay. Done with the rant. I know that was old news about Brett Cooper. I had to get it off my chest. It's been fucking bothering me because I hate these fake, trad, conservative fucking whore women. And it just drives me nuts. Okay. So now getting back to the final part here, and we're looking at Iran. We've been going back and forth with kind of behind the scenes negotiations. Apparently aspects of Iranian leadership have been reaching out to the Trump administration and vice versa. They've been trying to come to a ceasefire agreement where we can bring this all to an end. Neither side has been able to get the circumstances that they want. Trump is saying the entire nuclear program has to be debunked. He's saying that we will give them uranium and we will help them with their clean nuclear energy program, but the help will have to come from us. They will not be able to develop a program on their own. In addition to that, they'll have to scrap all of their ballistic missile program, et cetera, et cetera. Iran is refusing that. They're saying America has to leave and fall back immediately, and they have to stop all strikes. Now it's turning into the final solution here or something. So it starts with a 30-hour countdown timer that ends tonight at 8 p.m. So it's got 6 more hours on it before a targeted strike of supposedly every major bridge in Iran and every power generation system in Iran. Which this whole thing is problematic. You have these conservatives like Alex Jones and others that are turning traitor on Trump. They're turning their backs on him. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Alex Jones or Viva Fry or that retard Barnes that he's got with him. He was on the show claiming they need the 25th Amendment Trump and some bullshit. All of these people are turning on him. Two things can be true at once. I am someone that believes more in country than in the man. I will support the man or the woman if they are running the country and supporting my values and the things I find important. But the country matters to me more than the United States matters to me more than anything. So two things can be true at once. I can still be a supporter of Trump, but I can be critical of decisions he's making and things he's doing. This attack on major infrastructure is going to end up hurting the Iranian people, which is counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish in Iran right now. I'm seeing this as a problem. If this countdown timer ends and his legitimate threat and he goes through with this is a problem. I'm going to play the first video for you here so you can see some of it.
A senior Israeli official telling Fox News the head of intelligence for the IRGC has been killed, and at the same time, another commander of a special operations unit was taken out. Meanwhile, the daring rescue of a seriously wounded airman is being held as
this was the one or two F-15s that were shot down.
F-15 jet shot down.
They were successfully rescued.
Over the weekend, the crew member surviving for almost 48 hours behind enemy lines, climbing over 7,000 feet to hide in a mountain crevice. The airman activating an emergency beacon armed with only a pistol for survival. That pilot recovered on Friday. The U.S. Central Command still striking Iran as President Trump warns Iran to make a deal in 48 hours or, quote, we're blowing up the whole country. President said, quote, Tuesday will be power plant and bridge day, and then warning seriously to reopen the strait. President Trump
today,
teasing
8 p.m.
the Tuesday at 8 p.m. ultimatum
Power plant and bridge day
on Truth Social. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports that the U.S. and regional mediators are pushing for a 45-day ceasefire that could lead to a permanent end to the conflict. The Journal says chances are slim. I want to bring in Florida Congressman Brian Mast. He chairs the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Mr. Chairman, your thoughts?
Good
morning to you, sir.
Demonstration that there are many that are sitting at tables trying to say, how can we work this out still by negotiations? And America is still willing to look at what can be negotiated. We're going to continue to strike things until that point. Do I see what Pakistan has put forward to be incredibly likely? Not very. They're looking for a release of frozen assets. I don't see that as something that takes place anytime soon. That's more of a regime change kind of conversation when you have actually a regime that's not looking to hit every American, every Israeli, every Arab across the region. When there is actually, maybe an embassy and there is peace in the region, then you can have a conversation like that. It's the big sticking point on what Pakistan has put forward just recently. So I don't see that as extremely likely, but very positive day in bringing home our pilot.
And Chairman, of course, you are a military veteran yourself. Thank you for your service. And I do want to get your take because, the Wall Street Journal says this, a daring rescue inside Iran. The mission, more evidence of the U.S. military's competence and bravery. The president put out his fiscal proposal for 2027, and there's $1.5 trillion in there for the military, on top of that $200 billion ask that's sitting right now in front of you and your colleagues for funding, more funding for the military. Talk about the need for this money on the heels of the fact that we did lose two C-130s.
Okay, so you've got just more bullshit yapping. So you've got they're trying to negotiate behind the scenes, which, if you wanted to take out the entire IRGC and cripple them, then why are we having negotiations? That kind of sets back on the statements that are coming out of the White House that the war is going really well and we're winning and we're getting everything that we want. If we're getting everything that we want, we don't need a ceasefire. Just keep grinding. So some of that wording is concerning because you need. At this point, we will have pissed off the IRGC so much that if it wasn't already an enemy before, it's going to be a permanent enemy now. If we have a ceasefire, we shut everything down, we pull out, we get out of there, they're going to rebuild, they're going to subjugate their people all over again. The Iranian people will never see freedom. The IRGC will attempt to build back better and bigger and more dangerous than they ever were before. And as soon as they can get to a certain level, either we're going to have to keep bombing them over the next 10 to 15 years to keep them at like a post-industrial level or something, or they're going to rebuild to the point where they're going to be able to retaliate. And if you were Iran, wouldn't you, the Iranian military, wouldn't you want to retaliate for the enemies that put you into this, that ground you down that much? They're going to be worse and meaner than they ever were before. The proxies are going to get more money. Hezbollah and Hamas are going to keep fighting. We're going to have the same problem we did, if not worse. So really, you need you need an entire solution here. You need to cripple them so much they don't have the ability to come back. The people are able to take over their own country. We're all able to negotiate with them in good faith, and they're not looked at as a concern for the Middle East or the globe anymore. So negotiating is, there's no way they're going to agree to the terms. They're radicals. They've already been willing to sacrifice their own people, essentially almost fight to the last man. They've shot at tankers regardless of the tanker's nationality, including sometimes hitting their own allies, Chinese vessels, which they were supposed to be avoiding because China is an Iranian ally. But they're hitting tankers indiscriminately anyway. I mean, these guys don't give a fuck. But we're going to negotiate with them, and we're going to come to a settlement that everyone's happy with. I don't personally see that. But now, here's the newest Truth Social from today, this morning, where Trump says, a whole civilization will die tonight. That's not good wording at all. Never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, no, you don't. I don't see that. Where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. I'm all about freeing the people of Iran. I think the Iranian people should be we shouldn't have that as a terror state in the Middle East anymore that also threatens the United States. And the Iranian people should be free. And that way people can go home. If they want to visit, we can visit. If you want to see what Iran looks like, you can go visit safely. Right? You want safe places to go around the world. But a whole civilization will die tonight? I want to help him. I want to help him twist that into something else, and I kind of can't. You're going to wipe out the entire Iranian civilization? I don't understand that wording. So you're going to genocide them. We're going to nuke them. I mean, it's his words. It's not mine. The wording's bad.
President Donald Trump issued a bleak warning ahead of his Tuesday night deadline for Iran to reach a peace deal with the United States, saying, quote, a whole civilization will die unless Iranian leadership yields. Trump has threatened the, quote, complete demolition of Iran's infrastructure, including power plants and bridges, if an agreement is not reached. However, Trump left the door open to a deal, saying, quote, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen in negotiation with Iran's new leadership.
We have to have a deal that's acceptable to me. And part of that deal is going to be we want free traffic of oil and everything else.
The Strait of Hormuz has become a key point of leverage for Iran as its blockade on oil tankers has sent the price of energy worldwide skyrocketing. Iran previously rejected a proposal drafted by mediators from Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey that called for a 45-day ceasefire and reopening of the strait. Iran reportedly will only accept a deal that puts a complete end to the war.
So I don't know how it's going to play out. If he means a civilization, if he meant to say the complete destruction of the IRGC, so there's no one left, that wording doesn't reflect that. So I'm confused by that. The death of an entire civilization means you're going to kill every Iranian, including the innocent ones that have been supportive of the war to get rid of the IRGC. So the wording is very poor. There's no way for me to spin that, to say that people are misinterpreting what he's saying, or you're just not paying attention. You're talking about wiping your civilization out. That means you're gonna, if you're not killing every Iranian, you're knocking them all back to the Stone Age by taking out all of their power, all of their bridges. So the people are going to be just as fucked as the military will be, and that's not a solution. It kind of makes us the bad guys in that situation. So you go from a situation where we were going to free the Iranian people while we were taking this action, regardless of where people are with their thoughts on this conflict. And this makes it worse. So I'm going to be at work. So unfortunately, I won't be able to stream when 8 o'clock rolls around and what ends up finally happening. Are they going to reach some sort of deal so we don't hit the 8 p.m. timeline? Or, the U.S. military hit
breaking this morning,
Targ Island as well. That's one of their major oil refinery little islands there. They do like 90% of everything out of there. And we've been trying to take that, I think. But so it's going to look bad on him if the deadline passes and he doesn't do what he said he was going to do. That's going to turn on him very quickly, and it's going to be bad politically. If they come to a deal and the deal is bad, especially for the American side, that's going to look bad too. The whole political situation is going to be, the political fallout is going to be really bad depending on what happens at or by the 8 p.m. timeline tonight. So, you know, I know sometimes Trump has the bravado and he'll say he's going to do something, and then at the last minute the situation changes, there's a deal, yada yada. You know, that's why they call him Taco, you know, whatever the fuck, I forget what that means, but you know, Trump got scared and backed out or whatever. But, you know, you don't want another situation like this, especially with what you're threatening. You're going to take out all of their energy infrastructure and all of their bridges, which will end up, I think, hurting the people more than it's going to hurt the IRGC. Because let's say we were to be successful and the IRGC surrenders, it's the people that have to rebuild all of this. I imagine we're going to help. If there's a new administration and we have a pro-America regime in Iran, we're going to go over there and we're going to help. Or BlackRock or Vanguard is going to show up and rebuild the place, all these major corporations, and then Iran is going to be brought to you by BlackRock and Vanguard because they were already talking about rebuilding. They were getting deals to rebuild Ukraine after the war was over. I mean, BlackRock and Vanguard are some of the biggest, like, just empty soul companies. They buy shit up, corporatize it, like, you know, they're buying personal homes and turning them into rentals so people have less homes to buy. That's what these major corporations are doing. BlackRock, Vanguard, and there were some other ones too. So maybe they get contracts and they rebuild Iran, and so then the rebuilding of the whole world is brought to you by all the major corporations. I don't know, but I'm going to let him cook. I'm going to let Trump cook, and we're going to see what happens at 8 p.m. But I have some concerns over the wording, and I have some concerns over this particular plan that ends up hurting the people. If you want to fight the IRGC, I'm all for it. Be my guest. We can't hurt the people. If we do, this ends up being counterproductive to anything that we're trying to accomplish here, or any argument that would be made. Okay, that's the last update that I have for today. Thank you, everyone. Like and subscribe. Help me get the show off the ground and the algorithm read it and help me get out there so my show can even attempt to compete with these other fake grifting fucking conservative accounts. All right, thanks, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon.